She came from nothing, not a very successful actress. She had no money, she had no future.
Well, I think she's building up to something very big. There's a very interesting story earlier this week that she was seen having a series of
interviews. They still did mix with the royal family, both in St. Paul's, and they met the Queen and Prince Charles on their recent visit.
Listen, babe. She didn't just walk into a palace, she stormed in thinking she'd be treated as an equal in a world where equal doesn't even exist. Picture it, 2 women, 1 long royal hallway with 20 rooms between them. And that hallway, it became a war zone. Silent looks, whispered gossip, and tension thick enough to slice with a tiara. And now, finally, the truth about who actually made who cry. Oh, honey, it's not the story you've been hearing. Because Tom Bower, yes, that Tom Bower, the royal biographer who never holds back, just spilled exactly what went down between Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton. And let's just say, it's not what the palace PR team wanted us to know.
Something is seriously off about the way Meghan Markle and Prince Harry handled the births of their children. And now it's all—
This wasn't some catfight over bridesmaid dresses or a petty spat about apology flowers. Oh no, we're talking clashing worlds, 2 totally different versions of reality colliding, and one very public media game that blew up in someone's face.
He pushed in private meetings. He argued in interviews. He demanded recognition. Why fight so hard? Because titles aren't—
So grab your tea, because the details are wild. Drop a like if you're already hooked, because trust me, every twist from here gets messier. Now, stepping into the royal family, it's not a fairy tale. It's a centuries-old system carved out of tradition, protocol, and pure hierarchy. And Meghan, she walked in expecting to be treated like Kate Middleton's equal, you know, the future Queen of England. But that's not even up for discussion in that world. The day she moved into Kensington Palace, reality didn't just show up, it slapped her right in the face.
Imagine waking up one morning, thinking your life was chaotic enough already, and then someone drops a bombshell.
Okay, picture this. Harry's living in what they call a cottage. Sounds adorable, right? Except no, it's basically 2, maybe 3 rooms. Cozy at best, humble by royal standards. Definitely not the palace glamour Meghan had in mind. And right across the hall, just a few steps away, William and Kate's massive 22-room apartment. Yeah, you heard that right. 22 rooms, 2 separate kitchens, not 1, 2. Let that sink in for a second.
Come with me on a walking tour of where Meghan Markle went to college. For those of you who do not know, Meghan Markle was actually super legit before she met Harry.
So imagine waking up every morning in your tiny little cottage, hearing laughter, staff, and chatter echoing across the hall. A constant reminder of who's who in this royal ranking game. Every walk down that corridor meant passing their door, staring down that 22-room reality. And that's not just about space or status, it's the literal architecture of power. The royal hierarchy built into square footage, every inch of the palace reminding you exactly where you stand.
I think Meghan Markle's story is a fairy tale. Think again. Tom Bower, the 85—
That's the real gap. Not just walls, but worlds. Between a prince and a future king. Between an American actress and the woman who'll wear the crown someday. And according to Tom Bower, Meghan was shook when she realized this. I mean, who wouldn't be? You think you're moving into a royal dream, but instead, you're surrounded by walls whispering, "Know your place." But Bower says this shock, as brutal as it was, wasn't what broke her. Nope, she could have adjusted. People have dealt with worse and figured it out. What really flipped the story upside down? Something way deeper. Something that changes everything you thought you knew.
feeling mortal. He would like some sort of settlement. I don't believe for a moment that William and Camilla—
According to Bower, Meghan never even planned to stay. Yup, from day one, her exit strategy was already quietly waiting in the back of her mind. That tiny cottage, the giant apartment across the hall, the constant reminder of who mattered more. It wasn't just hard. It was temporary discomfort in a place she didn't plan to call home for long.
Tom Bower's bombshell book, Revenge. Meghan, Harry, and the War Between the Windsor.
This was never her forever. It was a chapter she already intended to close. So all that resentment, the tension, the awkward smiles across the corridor, it all started to snowball because when you're not planning to stay, you don't adapt. You don't bend, you don't blend in, you just—
Who she could use and who could serve her purposes. She did want him because she then was promoted from an unknown actress into a global star.
Kill time, and that's when things exploded because this wasn't about apartments or corridors anymore. It became a full-blown personality clash. 2 women, 2 completely different worlds, both under the same royal roof. And that palace wasn't big enough for both to shine. Let's break it down. Meghan Markle. She came from hustle. Real hustle. She built herself up from scratch. No silver spoons, no royal safety nets. Every dollar she ever made, she earned. She learned how to charm, how to navigate rooms, how to make things happen. That's how she climbed in Hollywood. Self-made, fierce, strategic. That was Meghan's world. Meanwhile, Kate Middleton? Completely different story. Kate's royal story is the definition of patience. She waited years. years, for Prince William to finally propose. No pressure, no drama, just quiet, steady patience. And look how that turned out. She became the picture of grace, the perfect ambassador for Britain. According to Bauer, Kate's turning into one of the monarchy's greatest assets. Poised, consistent, respected. Kate's not just representing herself, she's representing an entire nation. Meanwhile, Meghan, Bauer says she's always represented one thing, herself. And honestly, that's not a jab. That's just who she is. Her whole life has been about personal success, personal branding, personal achievement. That's how you survive in Hollywood, right? But in the royal family, it's not about you. It's about the crown, the country, the centuries-old institution. And that's where the wires crossed. Two women, two completely different missions. Kate was born, well, trained, to represent the monarchy. Meghan was built to represent Meghan. And expecting those worlds to merge peacefully? Please. Now add one more layer, timing. The absolute worst timing possible. When Meghan entered the scene, Kate already had her hands completely full. 2 kids at home, pregnant with her third, and dealing with brutal morning sickness that left her barely functioning. Kate was exhausted, sick, and honestly just trying to get through each day, zero energy to spare. Meanwhile, Meghan walks in expecting royal mentorship, someone to hold her hand through palace life, someone to guide her every step. Tom Bauer says Meghan thought Kate owed her that it was Kate's duty to make her feel welcome, looked after, supported. But Kate, she was drowning in mom life, pregnancy fatigue, royal duties. She literally didn't have the bandwidth. And that's where the misunderstanding snowballed. Meghan saw distance. Kate saw survival. Kate wasn't cold. She was just exhausted. But Meghan didn't see it that way. She took it personally, felt ignored, even rejected. Like she wasn't getting the grand royal welcome she expected. And when the tension hit a breaking point, Harry stepped in. Yup. He actually complained to William's staff, asking why Kate wasn't helping Meghan, why she wasn't being more welcoming. That's how serious it got. According to Bauer, Meghan wasn't just expecting royal treatment, she wanted royalty plus, like extra sparkle, extra attention, extra everything. She wanted to be the special one, the princess who didn't just join the family but transformed it. But the monarchy doesn't work like that. The rules are set in stone, and no amount of California charm can bend them. Meghan wanted to rewrite the script, but the palace doesn't take edits, so Meghan took it as rejection. And Harry, bless his loyal heart, backed her up all the way. He even went to William's staff again, frustrated that Kate wasn't giving Meghan what she wanted. It wasn't just family tension anymore, it was a full-on palace problem. Meghan wanted more than royal treatment. She wanted what Bauer calls royalty plus. Special access, special status, special everything. But that's not how the monarchy operates. You don't rewrite centuries of rules because one newcomer doesn't like her spot in line. And that mindset, that refusal to bend, lit the fuse for what came next. Because all that pent-up jealousy, confusion, and unmet expectation, it was about to explode in one single event. The one that went global, the bridesmaid dress incident. Yeah, that one. The one that turned into the who made who cry saga heard around the world. It started as wedding prep, fittings, dresses, schedules, the usual royal chaos before a big day. But according to Bauer, something went sideways between Kate and Meghan, and it ended in tears. Now, fast forward to the Oprah interview, the one that broke the internet. Meghan sat there, tears glistening, telling Oprah that Kate made her cry. She painted the scene. Kate had done something that hurt her deeply right before the wedding, and poor Meghan was the one left in tears. The world gasped. Because up until that moment, the tabloids had been saying the opposite, that Meghan made Kate cry. So Meghan flipped the script live on international television. She said Kate apologized, even sent flowers, proof in Meghan's eyes that Kate knew she was in the wrong. But Tom Bauer, he says, hold on, that's not how it happened at all. According to him, it was Meghan who made Kate cry, not the other way around. Complete reversal. And honestly, think about it. Why would Meghan tell it differently? Bauer says it's classic PR strategy. Control the narrative, rewrite the memory, and play the victim. Because if the world believes you were the one crying, then automatically the other person becomes the villain. And just like that, sympathy shifts. The public rallies, the headlines change. Meghan, the misunderstood duchess, hurt by the cold British princess. Kate, the stiff royal who made the newcomer cry. It was media genius and manipulation all at once. Kate, meanwhile, stayed silent. No interviews, no rebuttals, no leaks, just silence. Dignified, regal, unbothered. Normally, that kind of grace earns respect, but Meghan weaponized it, because silence can look like guilt when you spin it right. According to Bauer, Meghan used Kate's silence as proof. See? She's not denying it, so it must be true. That's how powerful the narrative game is. And Meghan, a trained actress, understood that better than anyone. So now we had 2 women, one talking, one staying quiet, and the world caught in the middle trying to figure out who to believe. But Bauer wasn't done digging. He went through Meghan's entire Oprah interview and found 17 Yes, 17 claims that were either exaggerated, misleading, or flat out false. And Oprah never pushed back once, just nodded along, letting Meghan's story shape the world's perception of the royal family. But the most damning part, according to Bauer, isn't the interview. It's the pattern, because when he looked into Meghan's past, he found the same issues popping up again and again. Complaints from staff, reports of rude treatment, people leaving jobs in tears. At Kensington Palace, staff from Meghan and Kate's shared team started quitting. Fast, and not because of Kate. Bauer says staff complained that Meghan cut them dead, humiliated them, isolated them. The word that kept coming up? Mistreatment. And here's the kicker. That wasn't new. Years earlier, during a photo shoot in Montreal, Bauer says Meghan treated the crew horribly. Same behavior, same energy, long before the palace. Kate, on the other hand, has a spotless record. Polite, professional, humble. Staff love her. So when you line those two histories up, Bauer says the answer becomes obvious. Who made who cry? Probably not the one with the clean track record. And those palace exits? They weren't random. Staff turnover around Meghan was insane. People leaving, breaking down, not coming back. Even now in Montecito, Bauer claims the same pattern continues. New staff in, quick exits out. It's a revolving door. And when people keep running for the exits, it tells you something. Maybe the problem isn't the palace. That's what makes Bauer so confident about what really happened behind those doors. Because when you have one woman with a trail of burnt bridges and another who's beloved by everyone who works with her, well, who are you going to believe? But the real heart of it all wasn't staff or protocol or even that crying story. It was jealousy. Pure, old-fashioned, burning jealousy. Bauer says Meghan couldn't stand how loved Kate was. Everywhere they went, crowds cheering for Kate, waving flags, calling her our princess. And Meghan? She got polite applause, curious glances, but not adoration. And that difference, that painful, obvious difference, ate her alive. She wanted the Diana magic, the people's princess sparkle. But the public had already picked their favorite. Kate was calm, graceful, dependable, the very definition of royal perfection. Meghan wanted to be adored, but she was seen as divisive. And no matter how much charm or PR she tried to push, she couldn't beat the system or the woman at its heart. So the jealousy deepened. Kate was everything she couldn't be, respected, adored, secure. Meghan was everything the palace feared, unpredictable, emotional, outspoken. It was never just about tears. It was about who the world would love more. And from there, the royal rift turned into a full-blown war.